Probably the injury that my office represents people for the most are herniated discs. And herniated discs, very simply, are discs which are sort of like a cushion between the vertebrae in your back or your neck. And they're there to cushion you when you walk, or when you sit, or when you step off a curb, or when you climb stairs. Often in car accidents, a person will have a herniation of these discs, and what that is forces are applied to the back or the neck during certain kinds of car accidents, and it's force that the disc cannot withstand. A young person could go through a car accident and not have a herniated disc, whereas an older person may have a herniated disc in a particular type of accident, or you could have the forces are so great that they result in herniation. So what we have to do as the attorney, when a client comes in the office and is complaining of back pain, and it's severe back pain, and it tends to linger on and does not get better, or they're getting pain down into either one or both of their legs, it's important to rule out a herniated disc, because what happens when this disc does rupture or open up, it impinges the nerve that is nearby, and it can be pain. If it's a herniated disc in the neck, it can be pain down one or both of the arms. If it's in the lower back, it can be pain down either one or both legs. So typically what we do is we send the client to get a cervical for neck MRI, or a lumbar for lower back MRI, and we find out whether they have a herniated disc. Now, the MRI will sometimes conclusively show that this is what's causing particular pain down their arms or down their legs. If there's an impingement on the nerve that's shown on the MRI films, then we have to set the client up for an evaluation by an orthopedic specialist. And if it's a neck or cervical herniated disc, I generally send the client to a neurosurgeon, because I think they're the most competent doctors for herniated discs of the neck. If it's a lower back injury with a herniated disc, I can send them to a neurosurgeon or to an orthopedic surgeon who handles lower back problems. It's important to note that we don't simply rush clients off to doctors to have them perform surgery. It's a wait and see approach. First of all, we try conservative treatment with the client, physical therapy first, and if that does not succeed, then perhaps epidural injections, or a series of injections where a cortisone or other steroid is injected into the back or into the neck to attempt to alleviate the problems by taking away the inflammation. And often that will take the disc off of the nerve, or cause the nerve to settle down, and so they don't need surgery. But if the symptoms continue and we have continued pain and numbness down arms or down legs, then frequently surgery is required. And I do have relationships with very fine doctors who will do surgery on herniated discs on a lean basis, and by that we mean the doctor will wait until the case is settled. The surgical facility will also wait, or if it's a more serious surgery such as a fusion has to take place in a hospital setting, then the hospital will wait until the case is either settled or until we get a judgment against the at-fault party. There are also herniated discs that are pre-existing. That means they were there before the accident occurred. And if not for the accident, the party might have gone on for years or the rest of their life without feeling any symptoms, even though they had a herniated disc. Or they had past pain that went away. And then the accident occurs, and their pain that had been asymptomatic, by that I mean there were no symptoms even though the herniated disc was there, and now all of a sudden they have this terrible pain and perhaps radiation down their arms or their legs. In those cases, the person that is in the accident, even though they had a pre-existing herniated disc, the herniated disc was not bothering them. So we can collect for them and get compensation for them for the aggravation or the pain that was caused now that the accident has occurred. And very often those cases are very large cases, 6 figures or more. So you shouldn't feel that you do not have a case because you had back pain in the past or you had a herniated disc in the past. If you had no symptoms or your symptoms had resolved themselves, then you can still be compensated, and you should be compensated for the increased pain or the onset of pain from an asymptomatic herniated disc.